Hey guys, welcome to the third part of my breakthrough card rating series, where I rate all breakthrough cards from 1 to 5 stars. This time we will take a look at the Soviet cards. That being said, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, first card we will take a look at is the 128 Rifles. 3-1 infantry unit that gives another unit and itself ambush with the pincer ability. A unit that some players rate very good. I don't think that this card will be that strong because it's only sitting at 1 HP, so it is in range of a lot of removal. Yeah, I would rate this card just 2 stars. Then we have the 556 Rifle Regiment, a 2k infantry unit with 1/3 stats, and it gets +1/+1 and guard when your HQ takes damage. A very good 2k infantry Soviet unit, especially against German aggro, a good option to play. Because your opponent has to choose then whether to, if he attacks your HQ while this is on board, your HQ is getting guarded and this guy is getting bigger and bigger. So the downside or the what this card might be in conflict with is that there's already a good 2k infantry unit with the 845th Rifles. That 2/3 infantry that heals you for every damage that the unit takes. I'm not sure if you can play both of them in full range, so I think you don't need 7 2k infantry units in your deck. So yeah, you have to consider whether you want to put in this or the 845th. I think the 845th is the better option, but yeah, maybe you can strengthen your deck a little bit against early aggression with putting 2 or 3 of these into your deck. We will see. But overall, I like the mechanic. I like the stats on that card. So I would go with 4 stars. It's a good card. The only problem is that there's already a good 2k infantry unit for Soviet. Then we have the 2k order, Lesser of Two Evils. That draws you 2 cards. And then you can choose and discard a card from your hand. I think it will find its way. So you can, for example, discard your own supply chain with it, a Betty. So this card has the potential to be very strong with drawing you 2 cards and gives you the option to trigger a card that you want to discard and get a benefit from that card. Yeah, I have some nice deck ideas for this and I really want to try this out as soon as the expansion drops. Then we have 2k order, Reckless Assault. Your units get +2/+2, and when this unit deals damage, deal damage equal damage to your HQ. Yeah, I don't like that card a lot, and in general. Yeah, so every damage you deal with that unit goes to your own HQ, and you might die faster than your opponent is dying. I also don't know or find any archetype that this might fit in. Maybe tokens, but then yeah, you have to have more HP than your opponent, otherwise you're just dying before he dies. Yeah, I think I go with one star. Then we have 2k order, Spiring. Add a random research card to your hand. So playing this card, you get one of the 3 options from the other nations to start a research project. I'm not sure why it's limited, because I think probably no one wants to play three of these in the deck, because the research cards are very expensive, and paying 2k to get a research card that is on the early stages quite equal to the benefit you get for what you pay, and paying 2k more for this, I don't think this might be worth it. Plus you need one more cycle until you can even start the project, so it will be very funny at the beginning to try it out, but I don't think it will be a strong card later in the meta or later in the expansion. So I will go with 2.5 maybe. Then we have the Yak 7, 2k fighter, and at the start of your turn you draw a card and deal 1 damage to your HQ. So this card tries to solve the drop problem for Soviets. A lot of other players think that this card is very, very good. I don't see how this card is that great. It only has 2 health. It deals 1 damage to your HQ, so I think you will never play this against Japan aggro burn. Yeah. And it's also 2k, so in the slot of your 2k infantry units that you... Yeah. I could agree with 3 stars, but I don't think that this card is stronger than 3 stars. Then we have the nice new card, Confusion. You take control of an enemy unit with cost 3 or less until end of turn. I already tried this card out and had a lot of fun with it. Especially because it's synergizing so perfectly with your refectories and Red Banner. So you can steal your opponent's unit, attack with it, and if it survives, you just Red Banner it or your refectories, and you get that unit from that. So the effect is really amazing, and you often just get a 2-for-1 trade with Confusion if both enemy units die. Yeah. A very, very good addition to the Soviet arsenal and a really strong card. I would give it 4.5 stars. Okay, next one is the 3k bomber Petlyakov PE2FT that lets deployment effects do not longer trigger. Also very nice. It's a little bit like the evasive action from the countermeasure from British. But here you have a 2-5 bomber for 3k. So the stats alone are fine, plus the very, very strong text with trigger canceling the deployment effects. It can be good in a Soviet air deck. Yeah. In my opinion, also a good card, not too strong. I think it's well balanced, so I would give it 3 stars. 3.5 maybe. Let's make 3.5. Then we have the Elite T28, a 3k tank with Blitz and Smokescreen. And it has the pincer ability. When this unit is destroyed, put it on top of your deck. So it's whether this unit or the unit you give the pincer on. So which of the unit dies first is put back on top of your deck. A very nice card. So you can get, for example, a Naval Brigade back on top of your deck. You can get whatever, B-17, Avenger, every sort of very strong cards. You can just get it back. You can also get back T28. Yeah. And 3k 2-3 with Blitz is also very nice. So you can pincer another unit, blitz with this into an enemy unit and just get it on top of the deck, and next turn you can do it again. Yeah. Really strong card, nice mechanic. I would give it also 4 stars. Now we have, I think, the most broken cards for Soviets ever. The 4K 35th Mountain Rifles, a 5/5 Alpine unit, limited rarity. And if this unit is removed from your deck, it enters the battlefield. I think this might be one of the cards that we see nerfed first, as one of the first cards. Because this effect triggers when you have, for example, a 35th Infantry Regiment from Japan is on board. Just imagine dropping 1 turn 35th and hitting this top deck and have a turn 1 2/2 infantry and a 5/5 Alpine unit on board. Yeah, I think your opponent is going to cry. You almost instantly win the game with this. Yeah, so if there would be 6 stars rating, I would give this card 6 stars. The stats alone, 4 credits, 5/5 with Alpine is strong enough to make it playable. Not that great, but there are some other Japan Alpine units that I will present in the Japanese video that synergizes with this also. So yeah, 5 stars for sure. This card, I can see a lot of complaints already about players that have to face this turn 1. And it's also a good resistance counter. I mean, resistance got nerfed a lot. You don't see it that often. But if you have this in the deck, you're happy if your opponent plays resistance, because then you get this for free on board. Then we have the 4K order by the sword, and you draw cards equal to the number of enemy units on the battlefield. Yeah. It's a little bit against the nature of Soviets, because as Soviet player you don't want to have your opponent having a lot of units on board, because you don't have a lot of mass removal. So I would prefer other options in Soviet decks than buy the sword. I would just give it 2 stars. Then we have the ZIS-2, a 4K artillery with 2/2 stats, and on pincer gives blitz. Yeah, I'm not sure about that card. Maybe you can double sys and have then for 10 credits 2 artilleries that can attack the same turn. The blitz ability is nice, but yeah, you usually just have 7 credits left after you played the sys, because if you want to have the blitz ability, you also have to deploy another unit before this to blitz it. Because I think just 2/2 blitz alone for 5K, I don't know. It looks nice, but I think it's bad. I would give it 2 stars just. Next card is the 222nd Guard Rifles. 7K infantry with 2 operation cost. 8/8 stats, and pincer at the start of your turn, fully repair this unit. So you repair this unit and the unit you pincered. I think it can be. I have some deck ideas for it. For example, if you do this on a Tiger or on a Panther G that is not targetable, pincer it, and then make this guy also non-targetable. Or with the German 2K order that makes a unit not targetable for enemy orders. So you have 2 8/8s or 7/7, so two big boys that heal each turn and cannot be targeted. But I tried this card out in my standard Soviet deck. It's not really fitting because it's very, very expensive. And the benefit usually is not paying out. So yeah, I would go with 2.5 maybe. Then last but not least, oh no, we have one more. The 25th Infantry Regiment. 6/7 guard, and at the end of your turn add a light infantry to the same front. So it's just an infantry style armored train with more attack and way more expansive. Yeah. Or 8k 7/6 guard, 6/7 guard. I don't think that card is that great. 2 stars. 8k 6/7. Without any instant influence on the board. Yeah, no. 2 stars. And then we have the cards I really like the most from the Soviets. The minority recruits take control of an enemy unit. I tried it out and it was a lot of fun stealing your opponent's units. The best thing I got so far was an 8/8 Joseph Stalin on turn 12. And if you steal it, you can use it right away. What is really overpowered, I think. Just stealing it alone would be fine, I think. But being able to attack with the unit you stole is just a little bit too strong, I guess. So I'll go also with 5 stars for this card. It is very annoying for your opponent to lose a unit. And additionally, having to deal with it after you stole it, yeah. Very good card, and it fits into Soviet control so well that I think if you own this card, you have to play it. It's very good. Yeah guys, that's it for the Soviets. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your opinion on the cards. Do you also think that these 2 cards are very strong? Yeah. And then we see us in the next video with the US cards. Bye bye.